is announcement. So I think I'll take next couple of minutes to make announcement. Well, first of all, who should we assign to do the meeting minutes? Any volunteers today for the meeting minutes?
What is that? I'm new to this. So.
Oh, okay. So meeting minutes are basically to take notes of the meetings and send it out after the meeting. So this is just a practice we're doing when we go to actual work. Often you have to do that. You call a meeting. If there are any action items from that meeting, you should take notes of them and send it out to the participants. That's what we're referring to here. So last week it was Amzad. This week, let me select someone from last batch. Is Fatima on today?
Yes, I am.
Fatima, do you want to take ownership of this?
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, so you guys join together, you and Mamoon?
Yeah, we're just sitting together.
Cool, that's good. Don't be distracted.
I won't.
All right, so you're responsible for meeting minutes. So one thing out of the way. Next thing is big request to all of you guys. I know you're doing group studies multiple times throughout the week. This is really good and encouraging. Please continue. But I joined a couple of the group session and I have seen you guys speaking in Bangla, and it's not acceptable. And I do not want to see that. I don't want to encourage that, because by speaking in Bengali, you are creating gaps and you won't be able to close it. When the time comes for you to go and face real interviews, you won't be able to close the gap. You may be comfortable talking in Bengali, but it's not acceptable. So please don't do that. Stop it. English only here as well as in the group studies. Just English, nothing more. I cannot stress this enough. So please don't. Then the other thing, okay. Another thing I encourage, right, all of you guys. So since we are doing a lot of communication in WhatsApp, since we don't have a official tool to do communication, since we're using WhatsApp, use the web version of it in your computer, and it's going to make your life so much easier. Rather than dealing it with the phone, just use the web version of it on the browser of your computer. So every documentation gets shared and everything, you have access to it on your computer rather than the phone. I just personally think it's much more friendlier. Another announcement is, so we have a huge group and I know a lot of you are ahead of some of others, or want to be ahead, or want to finish the course faster. So if you want to do that, work with me individually. If you, let's say the homeworks or the topic we're covering today, and you finish it in a day or two, and you feel like that you want to continue, make progress, reach out to me. We can work together. And I strongly believe everyone should set goals individually. You want to achieve some things weekly basis, monthly basis, in those nature. So just let me know if you have enough time, because obviously people have life and everything, so not everyone has time. This class will continue Sunday and Monday in the same pace, but if you want to be ahead of the game, please let me know. And the one way of doing it, obviously I shared the videos from last batch, and I've been keep repeating it. Please watch it. Please do that. It's going to make your life so much easier, mine as well. So watch those videos.
It's Ashraf. I just wanted to know, I wasn't here for that. Where did you share the old batches video?
We will do, we'll share it again in this group, so you'll have it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So do that. Trust me, things going to be very clear. You won't be coming to the class confused. You'll be clear. So that's another announcement. We have a bunch of new joiners. We'll go over them. Before that, another announcement. So guys, first day, like, remember I said commitment phase was for 4 weeks, right? We had commitment phase, we had, decision phase, commitment, and then execution, I believe. So first day I said you guys should have 4 weeks to decide, and at that point we were only the decision was to only teach on Sunday. We were only having 1 day a week class, but then at the end of the class we all decided to do 2 days, right? So here's the thing, right? If we wait 4 weeks, it's going to be 8 classes, and it's a lot. And I think no one in the world will give anybody free 8 classes. I think maximum 2. But I am fine with that. Since I said it 4 weeks, I'm fine with that. But what I need to know is the commitment. How many of, I know a lot of people are here, but realistically speaking, I don't know how many of you are fully committed. So to do that, I actually need to know, right, how many are in fully and how many are not. So why I need that, I'll show you in a second. I need to create multiple groups, and we need to work in a group. And before I do that, I actually need to know, let me just quickly show you in a second. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes.
So, thank you. So the plan is we will have, like I have been saying, we'll be
Going to
doing.
interrupt one thing here. Who is F? Can you come up with your real name, please?
Yeah, please put your real name, guys. We need to call you or assign something or talk to you. Real name is good. Okay, so we will have QA managers /BA. We'll have QA lead. We'll have co-QA lead. Then we'll have QA engineers. And we have, Shamim is going to be managing one team, then Redwan and Halimbai and Rajubai, and rest will change. I just have to create the team so I can start working on that. And as you guys can see, putting everybody in the same team, it's going to be tough. We'll need four different teams. So, other thing is, like, if you know you want to do this, is just go ahead and make the commitment so we know, and we can move forward. But the class will go on, and we'll try to do our best to serve you guys. Someone has a hand raised. Shahbar, you have a question, brother?
Yes, salam, brother. I've seen your YouTube channel. Though there are 9 videos. Those 9 videos covers the last class, right? The entire batch.
Last batch, yeah.
So if we are seeing
not the
that, we'll be
project.
ahead of the game, right?
Yeah, project is not recorded. We will be doing the project here.
Okay, no problem. But still, we could look up to those if we have any confusion or if you want to go ahead of the game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I encourage everybody to watch it as soon as possible. I think that would give you advantage over the class.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. And another thing, right? Every single QA boot camps, if you call it is a boot camp or whatnot, they would make you sign an agreement, take your ID, social number, and all of that. I won't do that. I don't function like this. My business is fully on trust. I'm here to help, and I believe all of you guys and trust you guys. So we'll be, I just want partnership. I don't need a piece of paper. I don't want that. So just wanted to clarify that. With that being said, guys, okay, so we have a few new folks. So we have Ashraful Uddin. Brother, do you just want to quickly introduce yourself? Ashraf.
My name is Ashraf Uddin. Is there another Ashraful, or is that me?
You, that's it. Where are you from?
Yeah, my name is Ashraf Uddin. I'm from New York. Oh, I guess we're all from New York. I'm from Bangladesh, Ozone Park. Yeah, a little bit about myself. I just graduated. I'm looking forward to getting committed and just trying to execute the plan, like you said.
Thank you, brother. Welcome. Next is, I'll try to go very quick. Ishtiaq Ahmed from Bronx.
Yeah, my name is Istiak. I'm from the Bronx. I'm 24 years old, and I'm just looking for a change of careers, and I'm fully committed to this. So
Thank you, brother. Welcome. Is there Shah Masoom?
Yes, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I'm from Michigan. My name is Shama Sundari, and I'm doing my bachelor's in criminal justice, but I just wanna, you know, interested in IT company with my two of my friends is here, Abdul Hadi and Majhar. So they just encourage me to do it, and yes, I wanna looking forward to working with you guys.
Hey,
Thank you.
brother, welcome. Mahbubur Rahman. Is Roman there?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Yes, my name is Roman. I'm from Queens, Hillside. I was in the first batch, like the very first batch in 2020, but unfortunately I had to leave for some personal reason. So hoping to finish the QA course this time, inshallah.
All right, thank you, Roman. Anyone else? Am I missing anyone else?
Assalamualaikum.
Yes, sister, please go ahead.
I'm Rumana. I'm new. You missing me?
I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's fine. I'm Rumana. I'm from Bronx, and actually, I want to change my career in IT section, because my background is pharmacy department. I completed my bachelor in pharmacy from Bangladesh. Now I live in Bronx. I have two little kids. That's why I'm doing nothing actually. But I want to do something. That's why I am here. And Mahfuza Apu and Sai Tipu Bhai is our family friends, and they recommend me for that.
Perfect.
So everybody please pray for me, and also Kadir Bhaiya. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, sister. I know Tipu told me about you. Perfect.
Yeah.
We're here to help you, and two little kids behind you, they're also cheering on for you. So we're gonna
And just pray for us, and please everybody pray for us, and everybody assalamu alaikum from our group.
Walaikum salam.
Walaikum assalam.
Anyone else? Am I missing anyone else?
Assalamualaikum Bhaiya. I'm Rabia Islam Hemi from Bangladesh.
Hi, sister. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Bhaiya. I completed my BSc honors in computer science and engineering in 2014. So it's a huge gap. So it's a bit nervous.
You'll be fine.
So yeah, I hope so. Thank you.
Welcome. It's a big new group, I guess, addition. So everyone, welcome. And if you need anything, obviously, you can reach out to me, Rajubai, Shamim, Radwan, any one of us. They're going to be here helping you anytime. Reach out. And also, the group is available. I hope I'm not missing anyone else. All right.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. You're missing me.
Oh man, how did that
It's
happen?
Tanya Islam.
Sister, did you?
I live in New York.
Okay, did you register by any chance?
Oh, Eniafa told me about the course.
Okay, cool. I'll give you the registration form, but please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Tanya Islam. I'm from New York. I studied here, but I didn't complete it. So now I didn't study it for like 6-7 years. I don't even know. And it's long time. And Shujan Bhai introduced me, told my husband, he studied here too, Masum Bokshi.
Perfect.
He told my husband, now he told him to let me try and see what happened. So thank you everyone, pray for me, and everyone's assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Welcome, and we're here to help. Perfect. Thank you, sister. I think Shakil is also new, right? You want to introduce yourself quickly from Canada?
Hi, this is Shakil. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I'm 24.
Perfect, Shakil. Welcome. Thank you. I hope this is it. I think that's it, right? Safe to move on, I believe. One other thing, guys. So some of my responsibility would be distributed to others as I am trying to lead this group to the promised land. So from going forward, the registration and the commitment part would be handled by Raihan Ahmed. He's here. He's going to look after those areas. And if you guys have any questions related to it, you can reach out to him. He's in the group and he's here as well. And he's going to reach out to you guys if he has any questions from his side. So you want to say anything, Brother Raihan?
No. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. No, if you have any question, reach out to me. My number is
Walaikum assalam.
in WhatsApp group, or any questions. If you have, just reach out to me, and if I have any question, I'll reach out to everyone.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, let's start. All right, guys. So this is our notebook. So last week we were talking about SDLC heavily. I hope everyone has understanding of SDLC. Anyone has any questions about SDLC, what SDLC is and why we need to understand SDLC? Someone has a hand raised, please go ahead.
Assalamualaikum, Qadir. I had one question about the SRS document.
Yeah.
In the basically the shared document that you sent us, there's one called I can see it right now, like the SRS and the BRD. But what would be the difference between the key difference between the two documents?
So SRS and BRD, they are essentially same thing. It's no big difference. So BRD, business requirement, what's D stands for? I forgot. BRD, business requirement document. Yeah.
Yeah.
Business requirement document.
Yeah. And SRS is system requirement specifications. No big difference at this point, as long as you understand these are requirement document. Some company calls them with different names. They essentially does the same job. So nothing that I should highlight to you at this point.
Got it. Thank you.
Any other questions, guys? So I have seen a lot of homeworks. Thank you to those who submitted the homeworks. Excellent. Just one thing, when you're submitting a work, don't just write it. Try to see how you can present it better. I'm not saying you guys did poor job. I'm just trying to give you a suggestion. Make sure that it's presentable and it looks good, right? Not just work, like it's meaningful, it also presentable. That's all. Most of you did really well, and with the different phases, some of you put it together. At least if you put some space in between or try to highlight certain area, would have been nice. But with that being said, it was good. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Now, it's very essential that we understand, before we move on from SDLC, I just want to go over it quickly that everybody understand what SDLC is. Anyone want to give it a shot? Try to explain what SDLC is.
Can I, Kadir?
Kadir, from last batch or?
No, Amjad, not from last batch. I'm looking for this batch.
Kadir, can I?
Please go ahead and try to, like, don't take too much time, as we don't have so much time. Try to.
So software development lifecycle, SDLC, means it's a group of phases in which the first phase is user requirement phases, where our user gives us the requirement. Then the thing goes to planning phases, where BRD, which is business, I forgot the full form of it, is converted to SRC. SRS. So what that is like, businesses language is converted into programmers or coders languages and transferred to design, where the software is designed, and the phase is passed to development, where the software is developed, and then the software is passed to the testing phase where the software is tested, and when we get a green signal, then it's passed to UAT and then production phase. And then there is maintenance, and if there is any kind of bug, then we work on those.
That's fine, brother. Just try to work on those naming the keywords a little bit more, and I'll explain in a second. Anyone else,
Yeah, can I go?
please?
Okay, so SDLC it stands for Software Development Lifecycle. Is basically how a software is developed. Starts with the user requirement phase, where the client or the user basically talks with the BA, business analyst tells him his wants and needs. It then heads over to the planning phase. The business analyst makes he converts the user requirement system specification into a SRS document, a BRD. He then, that document then goes over to the design phase. Designers work on this, and they create a mock-up basically. They then pass it to the developers, and the developers, they integrate coding into it, and they develop the software. After they feel that it's fully developed, they pass it on to us, the QA testers. In the system testing phase, we see if there's any bugs or anything wrong with it. If there is, we send it back. If there's not, we send it to the UAT or the user appraisal or something, whatever, user or something, where basically the user or client, they deem if it's worthy or not in their own head. They see if they like the application. If they do, then it goes into the deployment or production phase. It's deployed. They start using it in beta testing. Cutover phase, if anything, the manuals, if anything is to be added, it's added there. And the maintaining phase is like a future phase. If app updates need to happen sooner, then this whole SDLC lifecycle starts over again for a different feature.
You did really well until you said whatever, because
Okay.
whatever,
Yeah, sorry.
don't at any point in your interview or in the industry, don't use that word.
Yeah, sorry. It's user. I forgot what it
phase,
was.
UAT phase, user acceptance testing phase.
Okay, acceptance.
Very good. Well done. Thank you, brother. Sinan, are you ready to take a shot at it or not yet?
Yeah, I'm ready to do it.
Go ahead.
So the SDLC stands for Software Development Lifecycle. This is where a product is, a company, they go to an IT company and they ask for a product to be developed, and they basically go through a cycle, which I'm going to explain right now. So in the user requirement phase, the company, they come to the tech company, they ask for a certain type of requirement, which is going to be called a URS, which is the user requirement specification. The tech company then takes the URS and they take to the BA, the business analyst, and the business analyst basically takes the English terms and they convert it into tech terms. It's going to be called the SRS. So the BA, they then take the SRS, they give it to the software designer, and the designer, they basically make the blueprint for the software, and they then hand it off to the developers, the software developers, and they design the code. And once that's finished up, they give that code to the testers, which is us. And the testers, they basically make sure they reach up to a certain standard that's quality enough to send it out live. Once that's green lit, it goes up to the company, and they basically get their own testers to see if they like the product. And if they do like it, then the product goes live, which is the production phase. And once this happens, they go to the maintenance phase if there's any updates that they need to do, and that's that.
That's good, Sinan. I think it's really well done. Thank you, Sinan. Anyone from Sister? Yeah,
I can try.
Please go ahead. Can you do first three phases?
Sure. SDLC, it's software development lifecycle. This is overall process, how the software should be built. Starting from the requirement phase, where the client comes to the BA with their requirement, which called URS, and in the planning phase, the BA convert the URS to SRS, and in the designing phase, the designers start designing the requirement, the software part, the requirement.
right, thank you. Anyone else from sister side? Is Bushra there? Bushra, I hope I'm saying your name correctly.
Yeah.
Do you want to try next three
Yeah.
phases? Development, testing, and
From,
UAT.
so once they design the software, then it goes to the development phase where it's developed, and then when it's developed, it's sent to the system testing phase. Like once development phase declared it, then system testing phase is most likely find out if there is any bug or something. So it tested and sent to the UAT phase. So UAT phase, like they test it again by itself to make sure if there is, if it goes to the publicly, then it goes to the production phase where it goes to the publicly. And cutover phase are the phase where we can add on extra add-on or plug in something. Maintaining phase is the feature when the user can like change anything based on their own requirement after it's developed. Like the software is developed and then user can change it based on their own requirement.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Ifat, do you want to,
Yes.
you want to try? You know this, right? You're a pro now.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. So SDLC is a software development lifecycle. This is an entire process of how we build a software product. First is user requirement phase. In this phase, the client will come up with an idea to an IT agency where they discuss their needs and requirements to a business analytics. Next is planning phase. Once BA and the clients come up with an agreement, BA will convert the user requirement into SRS and BRD. These documents are detailed language for the developer, designer, and the testers. And the next one is designing phase. This is where a designer creates mockups based on the SRS documents. And next is a development phase. This is where the developer starts coding based on the SRS and the design mockups. Once they're completed with the coding, they do their own testing. And next one is
That should be fine. Ifat, I think good. Your understanding is good. Thank you. I have a question to the entire group. What is the proper way of saying what happens in system testing phase? I'm just looking from the new batch. What is the proper way of saying what happens in system testing phase?
We as a tester, we are following the SDLC process.
Perfect. So simplest way of saying it, in system testing phase, we start our STLC process. And what is STLC stands for? System testing, software testing lifecycle, or system testing lifecycle, same thing. So in STLC phase, this is what happens. Now, guys, it's really impressive for the new batch. Everybody that I asked, you guys have proper understanding. You're able to explain. Trust me, this did not happen in any other group, any other previous group. So you guys are doing very good job. Very happy. But obviously we cannot go down the list of 53 people. So I'm
Quick
sure.
question.
This is a laptop.
Yeah.
If it's full-time employee, they do that. They
Okay.
do.
Someone need to be muted. Thank you. Yes. Who has a?
I have a quick question.
Yeah,
So
go
you
ahead.
said like system testing phase, you said you said something about STLC. Can you say that again, please?
STLC, software testing lifecycle. We start with STLC process, and we will teach you that in details. For now, just understand that in testing phase, we start our STLC process.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right, guys, let's take some notes. I'm sure like, some of you are ahead and some of you are behind, and just to simplify this process, and I promise we'll move on from this in next 5 minutes. So what happens, give me 1 second. So in, let me just give you keywords from each phases. So user requirement phases, I'll give you keywords, 3 keywords. I'll try to give you 2 or 3. User requirement phase, what happens? You have who is there, user or client, right? So your keyword is client and does what? have meetings with business analysts. So your keywords are clients and business analysts. And what do? They create URS. So your 3 keywords are, do you guys need a minute to prepare to take notes, or you ready?
Ready.
We're ready.
I'm ready.
Cool. So users or client and business analyst and URS, these 3 are your keywords for this phase. So you're done, you move here, planning phase. Planning phase, your keywords are business analyst, URS, and SRS. Right? Business analyst sits here. They convert URS into SRS. These are your 3 keywords. If you're behind, let me know. Design phase. Designer designing the mockup based on the SRS. So you have your designer here, your SRS here, and mockup. 3 keywords here. Designer, SRS, and the mockup document, which is nothing but design document. Development phase, you have developers, you have the SRS, and the coding. Developers are coding based on the SRS document. You have 3 keywords here. Yeah, someone has hand raised. Any questions, Shakil?
Yes, I have a question. In development phase, if I just want to know if developers do any kind of testings before moving to system testing phase.
They would do unit and integration testing, but we'll cover that later. I just want to, so they do 1 round of testing, and we're not going to get into details here. We're just going to go into the main responsibility of them.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Cool. System testing phase.
Sorry, Kadir, but could you go over the keywords for development phase again?
So development phase, you have 3 keywords. You have developers, you have SRS, and you have code. So developers are coding based on the SRS document. Unfortunately, we only have 1 keyword, which is STLC. This is where we sit, testing phase. Yeah, we have the SRS here, and we start our STLC process.
Kadir bhai,
Ji bhai.
the 3 words for development phases are developer and
SRS and the code.
SRS and the code, right? Only code, right?
Yeah, you know how they do coding with a specific
Yes.
programming language, either
Yes.
Java, Python, whatever, right? That's what
Yeah.
I'm referring to.
Yeah, and system testing phase would be you
We-
were talking right now.
Yeah, we have SRS document and we have STLC. Based on the SRS document, we start our STLC process.
Okay.
Moving on to UAT. UAT, in here, we have UAT testers and the SRS document. So basically, user acceptance testers, which from the client side, who follows the SRS document and does their testing.
UAT tester and
SRS document. Usually we have URS document here as well. So it's good to note that because they compare with their original document, which they have provided, and our document, which is SRS. So 3 keywords here, URS, SRS, and UAT testers. And that should cover it. Rest, you guys know, production system goes live. I don't need to give you keywords. Cutover phase is really non-existent right now, But as you guys know, if there are any plugin or any installation requires, that's where it gets done. Doesn't happen nowadays. Maintenance phase, if there are any update requires, that's when we start the process all over again. Configuration phase is where all the documentation gets stored, final version of the documentations. Is it clear now? It should be super clear now. Any questions? Go ahead, Riyadh.
Kathir, I just have one question. When you say mock-up in the design phase, do you mean like
design document,
like an architecture, like blueprint type of thing, like where? Like,
yeah, design document basically.
Okay.
How an application should look like. All right. Any other questions before we move on, guys? This should be super clear. Any questions? This is something everyone has to understand, the concept of it. Otherwise, there's no point of moving forward.
Kadir bhai, I'll disturb you last time. The production phase. What are the words in production phase?
I did not give any words because production words is when system is accessible to public. Meaning you see gate here, you see a gate here, like give me 1 second.
That means for example, a software is available to public, like it's launched, right?
You see a gate here, right here, a boundary wall. Right now, this software is only accessible to the IT company. Once it passes this gate right here, this gate,
UAT phase,
then it moves to production. Everybody has access to it.
So after UAT, the software is launched, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. All right. I'm moving on if there is no question. All right, guys, I think it was very good. SDLC practice was very good. Moving on to other topics. All right, so part 3 today. Can you guys see my document? Is it clear enough?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
All right, so part 3, SDLC, right? That's where we were. So you guys know the faces and everything. We're still on SDLC. So SDLC, guys, right? There are different concepts in SDLC. There are different methodology. There are different ways people work. It's not one way. Yes, back in the day, it was only one way. The diagram I showed you guys, that's what everybody was following. But in IT industry, people don't like to do same thing for too long. There's always version 2. There is always something new, right? In SDLC, there are different model of working. There are different methodologies, and some of them, I have listed these 7 of them, but usually these first three are very, very popular. Waterfall, V-model, and Agile. And these 3 we will talk about. Waterfall is what was everything 7-8 years ago. Everybody was following Waterfall. There was no Agile. Nobody knew about Agile. So it was all Waterfall. V-model was there and still there. Usually big companies, government project, they use V-model. Agile is where everybody moved to or moving toward. Agile is very, very, very popular, and Agile is something you're going to be asked in your interviews. Each and every interview, they'll ask you about Agile, and Agile is not very simple concept. It has so much to it, and we're going to learn every bit of it. So let's first talk about Waterfall, right? Again, this is under SDLC. Everything that I'm showing you right now under SDLC, under software development life cycle. And these are the different process. These are different methodology, different model that we follow to develop a software product. Waterfall is one of them, and Waterfall is a sequential development methodology. And as you can see, in Waterfall, everything moves in a sequence. Just like the water flow, you can see it starts from the top and goes to the bottom, and there is no going back. It's one direction, and it's very similar to SDLC, what I just showed you. Same phases, only way it works, it goes in one direction. Starts with requirement phase, planning phase, designing phase, development phase, testing phase, UAT phase, deployment or production phase. No difference. It's same as SDLC and Waterfall. these were same. This was the only way people used to know how to work. There was no other methodology that people were following. It was waterfall or nothing. Unfortunately, or fortunately, things are changing and we're adopting new things. Any questions about waterfall before I move on? It's very similar. Okay, let's talk about V model. So V model is a V-shaped model, and you can see that V model is a framework, stands for validation and verification and validation. And you can see in one side it's being verification is being done, and another side is the validation is being done. The main thing you need to know when it comes to V model, I was never part of V model. I don't know anyone that worked in V model, but just for your understanding, no one will ask you about V model, but all you need to know the verification and validation aspect of it. And it's important. And when it comes to testing or test cases and things in those nature, you have to know what is verification and what is validation. So let's talk about it. What is verification? Confirm system its technical specification. What is validation? Confirm that product or system is right or ready. We need to deep dive into this. There are differences. This document, I hope everybody has access to it. If you're in the WhatsApp group, I have given the link in the description of the WhatsApp group. You can simply click on it and you should have access to it. The differences between verification and validation, I am not going to go through all of this. I will let you guys do that. But let's talk about what is your understanding of verification or validation. Let's compare it. Like, it's open for anybody. Can anyone explain what is your understanding of verification and what's your understanding of validation? I'm going to try to simplify it. If only new batches, welcome.
Can I go, Kadir bhai?
Please do.
Yeah, so according to my thought, verification is when we go for verifying something. So I'm repeating the same word, but it means like going to check if something is right. If something was said to be right, to check it. And validation is to assure that whatever I did is right. If that makes any sense, Kadir bhai.
Oh, can you repeat that, brother? I missed it.
So a verification, I think, is to check if something is right, to verify, right? And validation is to validate, which means to guarantee that whatever I did is right, to validate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that's correct. So if I have to put it in a simpler way, verification is the process of validation. And what I mean by that is verification is something is being asked to verify. And once you come back with the result, it's confirmation is validation, basically. So if I tell you, can you check how many people join in today's class? That is the entire process of me telling you and you going and doing it is the process of verification. When you come back with the result and tell me, okay, today 50 people joined, that is validation. Does that make sense? And any questions on that, or is it clear?
It's clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
Cool, cool. You guys will understand more once we start working on the test cases. So you'll be writing steps for verifying something, and then those, when you actually execute it and come back with the result, that's when you complete your validation, basically. All right, so let's move on to Agile, guys. So this is a big topic. Agile is the big topic, and we're going to be spending a lot of time on Agile. So Agile, what is Agile? Agile is a methodology, just like waterfall and V model. And the difference here is Agile is iterative development methodology where we make a product part by part. So basically you make one part, you finish it, and then you go grab another part, and then so on. So basically, if you take an example of an application, let's say Gmail, right? You are working on, oh, I think we have an application. Let me show you that application. Give me one second. Skill and tech, okay. All right. So this is the application, guys, you're going to be working on eventually. This is our application, skillandtech.com. So if you're working on waterfall, right, requirement would be written for entire application, like top and bottom, including all the different pages, and requirement would be given, and you would be working on it. Estimate would be given, like we would be completing this in 3 months or 6 months and so on. And after that, you'll sign off on it, and it will be taken to the next production phase, basically. However, when it comes to Agile, we would be working differently, right? Part by part. So first part, let's say in Agile, we would be saying, okay, guys, let's just build the sign in button or landing page, right? Landing page. And once you land, that your first requirement would be, let's just launch the application and show the sign in page. We don't have sign in page here, but I'm just telling you typically how it works. So you will have, like, out of this application, you will probably have 200 requirements versus 1. So hope you can understand the difference between waterfall and Agile. If you're working waterfall, the whole thing would be one requirement, one big requirement. The requirement I showed you guys last week, a document which is probably 40 pages long and has every little information that you need. So every little requirement and sub requirements are there. But if you're working Agile, you will have a requirement for this logo right here. You'll have requirement for this URL. You will have requirement for anything and everything you see in this page. That would be an individual requirement, and you'll be building it like, you'll be building homepage first. Once that is complete, you're going to move on to our services. Within our services, there are so many sub requirements. You're going to be working on each one of them separately. Contact page, about, career, and you're going to finish each one of them and deploy it to the production as you finish it. So do you guys see the major differences between waterfall and Agile?
Yeah, I have a question. Can I ask real quick?
Please.
So I know requirement business analyst only does that. Are we required to know how to write a requirement, or like at least view it?
No, you're not writing no requirements. It's business analyst job. But what is a requirement? Is a user story. It's what you want from a system, right? You can write one. It's no big deal, and you're going to write one in this course later on. It's simple. It's very simple. They simplified it in a way that everybody can write it. 5-6 years ago, you wouldn't need special training to know how to write a requirement, because it was one big document, and within that you have to add everything in a way that developers understands properly and everybody involved in it understands properly. But now requirements are being written in Jira form. It's no longer a document, a big document and whatever. So you don't need to know, and if it requires you, it's a couple of lines, you can easily write it, and we'll show you how to do that. Okay, so going back to the question, do we understand how to work in waterfall, and do we understand how to work in Agile?
Fine.
Good, right, Sinan?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
All right. Anyone has any confusion about how to work in Agile environment and how to work in waterfall environment?
No, it's pretty straightforward. One question I had is, so not a question, basically, I just want you to clarify it. So waterfall, basically, you don't have as many requirements when you're dealing with waterfall. Agile, you have a ton of requirements. So
Yeah. So I don't know if you've seen last week's video. We had I demoed a requirement. That requirement was probably 20 pages long. So that's waterfall, and everything in that requirement. So everything you need is within that requirement. So in waterfall, you will get one big requirement, and each agile you will get maybe hundreds of requirements, which is good. It's not a bad thing. Like they break it down for you, so it's easier to understand and handle.
Kadir bhai,
Right.
in waterfall, we get a big requirement, right? A long pages, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have everything mentioned, right? For like this logo, like skill and tech, and then home, our service, everything is mentioned inside that 41 pages, right?
Yes.
Whereas in what is it? Agile, we get like flashcards, like small requirements, right?
Yes.
So what they both mean the same thing, just like separately they're like
Right.
they're distributing the word separately.
Right. Right.
Thank you, Kadir bhai.
No problem, brother. So let's go further into Agile. Right. Can you guys see the Agile diagram? I hope you can.
Yes.
All right. So this is the Agile diagram. In Agile, what happens? The way we work, right? You guys seen waterfall diagram earlier where it was a sequential flow. Everything was moving to one direction, just like the water flow. But here you're going to see things differently. In Agile, we have iteration. We work in iteration. So we have iteration -1, iteration 0, construction iteration, release iteration, and production iteration. And what happens in iteration -1? This is where a company, when they have multiple projects, they select which project to work on. They prioritize potential projects, develop initial vision. You're not involved there. It's project management managers. They're dealing with it. You are not nowhere involved there. So in iteration -1, high level works goes on, and project managers and managers are involved there, right? That's what happens in iteration -1. Iteration 0, one thing you're going to notice, and I should put this side by side, waterfall and Agile. Where's the other diagram? Okay. All right. All right, so these two diagrams are sitting here now. If you can differentiate it, right? In Agile, you will have they have their own keywords, and the main difference is in Agile you have clients sitting next to you all the time. You have access to the client. They sit with you, they work with you, they help you clarify the confusion or anything. You, as soon as you finish something, you demo it to them, so they accept it. These are the advantage of Agile. So that's why the industry is moving toward Agile, because everybody is working together in a group, right? So stakeholder here, stakeholder means the client participates. So Agile has their own keywords, and we'll go over it as we move further. Anyway, so iteration 0, active stakeholders participation, obtaining fund and support, start building the team. Initial requirement basically gets talk about here, initial architecture, setup environment. Again, you are not involved in iteration 0. But client is already involved here. They've identified the project. Now they brought in the client. They're talking about the fund. They're building the team. This is when they start calling you. Hey, I need a QA or two for this project that I have, right? You guys can see the trend here, right? So again, so in iteration 0, you are not yet hired. High level work's going on. They're building their team. Funding and requirement gathering and architecture is being defined. All of these are happening here. Then comes construction iteration, and this is where all the heavy work happens, and this is where everybody spends most of the time. These two phases very quick, right? Decision making, building the team, getting the money, things in those nature. When we move to construction iteration, this is where everybody works together in a team in the same place. In Agile, you need to be physically there. But now that everything is remote, we still do Agile, but instead of being there, you just, be on the phone. That's why the company had hardest time to do remote work because of Agile. Agile has their own rules, regulation. No one can change it. If you don't follow Agile properly, then you're not in Agile. So every single company, they work really hard to adopt Agile, and customers likes it when they hear that this company works in Agile. They would do more business with them because customers are here, like with you, sitting next to you. And if you look at it, this one, do you see client anywhere? No, and they come in requirement phase and they come in UAT phase. And within here, maybe 6 months goes by, they have no idea what's happening. By the time they're ready to deliver this software, maybe they have new idea, maybe they want already 2.0 or something like that, and it doesn't make sense. Versus in Agile, when you're sitting next to them, you can make changes within that sprint, within that time frame, basically. So in construction iteration, what happens? Obviously, stakeholder is there, and obviously documentation is happening by business analysts, collaboration happening with all the teams. So who will be sitting there? Who you're collaborating with? Obviously, the stakeholder, the BA, the dev, the QA, designer, everybody's there. Test-driven design happens there. Confirmatory testing happens. So main things in construction iteration, all the work gets done here. And once the work is done, they release it internally. They deploy it internally within that team, right? Internal release happens here. So if you look at this in release iteration, active stakeholders are still there. Testing, final system testing happens there. UAT testing happens there. Documentation gets finalized here. User training happens there. Deploy system into production. So from here, they deploy system into production, and once it's in production, everybody has access to it. So in a nutshell, this is Agile. Questions, concerns, clarifications?
So Agile is basically SDLC cycle, but it's named different things. Like, so let's say the user requirement phase happens in iteration 1 and 0, and then everything else, like the planning, design, development, system testing phase, they all happen in construction iterations, and then releases like UAT and production phase, stuff like that.
So Agile is part of SDLC. It's just another way of working in SDLC. So SDLC is a way you build a software product, and Agile is a model within that SDLC that you follow.
Kadir bhai,
yes.
The first process you showed us, which is like January 2015, the in the Microsoft Word, right? IT solution, that is waterfall, right?
SDLC and waterfall is very, very similar. So yeah, you can say that waterfall was designed after SDLC. So think of SDLC. SDLC is the entire process, how you develop a software product.
So like these two things, Kadir bhai, what I got is SDLC is a process, and there are different models of doing that. One is waterfall, one is V mode, and one is agile.
Correct.
The last one you showed us was agile.
Correct.
To the left one is waterfall, and the V one is V model. Is it right?
Yeah. Ignore V model for now. Yes, you're correct. Just let's understand waterfall and agile, but mainly understand agile.
Okay.
You need to understand waterfall so you can differentiate it. You can understand what are the differences between that. When you go to an industry, you're going to see everybody is following agile, if not hybrid. Everybody's trying to follow agile. Agile is not the simplest thing to follow, but everybody's at least trying.
Okay. Okay, Kadir.
Cool.
So waterfall, basically user don't have any involvement, right?
Correct.
So agile only is stakeholder with us.
Agile, yeah, stakeholders are always there with you.
Yeah. Okay.
So clients, you can see in Agile, they have their own wording, right? They don't say user phase, user requirement phase, or planning phase. They say they call it iteration and construction phase and things in those nature. So what you guys think, like, is Agile, is this clear to you guys? Corrections?
Kadir, one question.
Yeah.
So when you say like active, like it says like active stakeholder participation twice, like in a waterfall, you would have to go through the business analyst to kind of say, oh, what, like I have further questions about a requirement. So
Yeah.
when it's like active, like am I as a QA tester, what's the communication line there? Like, am I speaking with them directly?
Yes, they're going to sit with you in the same room right next to you. So in Agile, they require for you to have access to each other. So the team usually have 3 developers, 2 QA, a BA, and stakeholder. And everybody needs to be in the same room. Everybody should be there next to each other. That's the requirement of Agile. And again, that's why we could not have remote work. We had to be there physically, but COVID changed it. Luckily,
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Is everyone clear on Agile? Okay, seems like everybody's clear on
So by just how we call that one? Iteration -1 or -1?
-1.
-1.
The Agile document is going to be shared with us also, right, on the Google Drive?
Absolutely, I'll post it right after this call.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. One other thing, guys. So there is a workflow called Scrum within that Agile. So this happens in the construction iteration. So you see construction iteration, right? Within the Agile, there is a workflow, and it's called Scrum. And there are different workflow within that Agile as well, which are something that we don't need to worry about. Scrum is what everybody's following. So in construction iteration, the way everybody works together is called Scrum. And there's some definition here in Scrum. Scrum is a model or framework, the way the workflow process that the entire development team follows inside the construction iteration in Agile is called Scrum. An interview, everybody's going to ask you about Scrum. Do you know Scrum? Have you worked in Scrum? So just understand that. Within that Scrum, there are like the things within the Scrum, basically, there are product backlogs, sprint backlog, sprint planning meeting, daily stand-up meeting, sprint retro meeting, sprint review meeting, Scrum team burn down chart, a Scrum master, etc. I know there are some heavy words. If you're new, you're probably going to be saying what the heck is going on, but it's all good. Once you read through it, everything is going to be fine. We'll spend a lot of time in this tomorrow. So just gave you a little overview of Scrum, and this is how a team usually looks like in Agile. I think the maximum number of team members to 9 or 11, I forgot, but standard size is 7. If you're more than that, they don't count you as Agile Scrum team. So usually in a Scrum team, you have a Scrum Master, business analyst, 3 developers, 2 QA. Some cases you will see 1 QA, some cases you will see 2 developers, and a product owner. Product owner is the stakeholder, is the client, right? Some cases that Scrum Master will be responsible for multiple teams, not one team, multiple teams, right? So these, in a nutshell, these are pretty much, Scrum. I don't want to go too much.
Is it possible to send the 10-minute Scrum video that you sent last time?
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
that actually helps a lot.
Mandatory. No, this is already in the WhatsApp. What do you call it? Description, and I have it noted, like, everybody's required to watch that video and come up with 5 keywords from that video, and then we'll talk about it. And let's talk about it at the end of it. So let me just show you guys quickly. Let me just quickly show you a real project, Scrum project. Any questions, guys? Do you have any questions before I move on?
No question, just clarification. So Scrum is basically a software that you use.
No, not a software. It's a team. It's a process.
Okay. All right.
Question, Khalid.
Yeah.
Can you go through the Scrum again? Like, what kind of question from this? Can I see the page again? The Scrum.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. So the part that's a team, one Scrum Master, business analyst, 3 developers. Can the number be changed? Like, you say 1 or 2 QA members. What about the 3 developers? Like, is there a maximum number or minimum number for that?
Usually, the standard is what I have written here, and the ratio of developers always going to be more than the ratio of QA. You would be lucky to have 2 QAs, usually 3 versus 1. If you have 3 developers, you'll have 1 QA. But some cases, if they want better quality, they will have 2 QA members. Standard is 3 developers and 2 QA, 1 business analyst. This is how it is. But they cannot have, like, 6 developers and
exactly
3 QAs, and then it's not going to be Scrum. It's going to be waterfall. If it's like, if the team is bigger, and like I said, I think 9 or 11 is maximum people can be in a Scrum team. If it's more than that, it's not a Scrum team. It's not going to be considered a Scrum team. It's going to be something other than that, and they need to figure it out. So yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. Let me quickly show you my team. Okay, 1 second. Give me 1 second. So you can see, right, we have team. You guys can see my screen, right?
Yes.
So you have team 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 teams here. And you can see we have, each team has, so these are all, each team is a Scrum team. So team 0 has a service owner, delivery manager, and team member. Unfortunately, this team is a small, and it changes. I'll show you updated version. It's changed. Team 1 has a service owner, delivery manager, and these are the team members. These are the developers, basically. And QA, unfortunately, me and my team supporting all of them, so that's why our name is not everywhere. But team 2, you see 4 developers, delivery manager, service owner. Here we named it differently. It's project owner and Scrum Master, but we named it differently. Ignore that. So 5 developers here, 2 delivery managers, and a service owner. things in those nature. I need to grab something better. Give me 1 second. Okay, where are we? Okay, can you guys see this screen? So,
Yes.
these 8 teams we converted into different names. So we have like Team Asino, Team Compote, Team Dat Soda, Kingfisher, Pringles, Sparkhorn, Sunrise, Tabasco, Darak, and Unassigned. So these are the team we have converted from that sheet. And now if you see, if you open that, it's showing. So this is Jira, guys, and I want to buy licenses for Jira, but before that I need to be able to, I need to find the committed people so I can start buying the licenses. And it's pretty expensive, so I need to figure that out in next week or so. Anyway, guys, so Timas, you know, like you can see what they're doing, right? These are the work they're doing. This is service level ticket, and then we have Epic, and under Epic we have stories and none of that. And we're gonna learn that. And the next team, same thing, right? You know, next team is working on all of these epics, and under epics we have the stories. So we will structure something like this. Like we'll have 4 to 5 teams, and each team will have, let me show you. Each team will have, so we have these teams. Oh yeah, I named them. I think Jakir also named them. I'll show you his template. So I have Team Mango, Team Sunrise, Team Wolfpack, and Team Hazards.
Can you zoom in a little bit? It's not clear.
Okay. This is weird.
By I think you can zoom in from view if you click on.
Yeah, I was doing control and trying to do that, but it didn't let me.
If you click on the 3 dots on the top right hand side, you could change zoom into 125% view. Top right hand side, the 3 dots.
Yeah.
Click zoom and go, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, I was trying to do it from the keyboard, but it didn't work. I guess it's the Google Sheet. Okay, so how about now? Is it good?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, so this is rough. I just started this, right? So we'll have QA managers, and each team will have a manager and the QA lead and co-lead and things in those nature. And these, I just named 4 teams. I think Jakir had something else. So he was working on this, which is good too. And we'll finalize it once everything. So he has like all the movie name, I guess, Adventure, Fast and Furious, Twilight, and Matrix. Nice. So this is just a draft, but we will fix it once we have the form list. Okay. All right, moving on from this. So time is 10:30. I would stop it here. I don't want to go any further. Are there any questions? Okay, so let's talk about homework, guys. So tomorrow, we're coming back tomorrow. So there is this video, I think it's in the WhatsApp group.
Can't see your screen now.
No, I'm not showing, brother. So let me just find that video and then give it to you guys. That's in the thing anyway. Okay, so this video, it talks about the Agile and Scrum, Agile in 10 minutes. Please watch it. It's really important. And from that video, come up with 5 keywords each. And then let's talk about tomorrow. Okay. And no other homework, just this. Just come up with your 5 keywords and we can talk about it tomorrow.
After seeing the video, Kadir bhai,
Yeah, after seeing the video.
and the video, you would send it in WhatsApp, right?
I already did. It's done.
Beautiful.
So
Thank you,
just
Kadir
5
bhai.
keyword from this video is the
Yeah.
homework.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
You don't need to submit the keywords, just hold it. And if we think that we need it, then I'll just create something and send it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, any questions, concern, or anything? All right, then let's meet tomorrow. We'll talk more about Agile and stuff.
Okay.
Thank you very much.